Hey, what's poppin'? It's your girl Wolfie, and it's time to talk about Dancer, the objectively best class in Final Fantasy XIV. Dancer is the easiest class in the game, people will shout. But honestly, you know what else is easy? Your mother. But I'm not complaining. Once I hit 60 on Bard, my instinctual response to knowing about Dancer's existence was to simply change to the superior job. As soon as I hit Standard Step, something deep within was awakened. When I'm playing rhythm games, I like to use D, F, and J and K on the keyboard. Wait, there's a lot you can learn while playing Dancer, and not having cast times permits you to simply go where you please. Other beta classes might have to adjust for positionals or consider their cast times, but not the Chad Dancer. Dancer teaches you about weaving, prioritizing, and simply understanding the mechanics of fights, which allows you to direct your attention on things that actually matter rather than bitching loudly in voice call because you lost a GCD of uptime. Not only that, Dancer gets you to think about the big picture. Ah, yes. The boss goes untargetable here, so if I time a standard step at this precise and awkward timing, I can actually get a full reopener, as if that standard step at that obscure timing was a 15-second pre-pull. Of course, these are statements only made by the mentally deranged that have been drunk on the Dancer go-go juice for far too long. As someone who has once dabbled in the League of Legends community, spin to win is a phrase that I had heard often, and as a Katarina enthusiast, I realized nothing has changed. I'm still a fan of spinning around and destroying things, so this has only convinced me more that Dancer was the job for me. But Wolfie, Dancer has lower numbers than Bards. Shut the fuck up. That's not real and can't hurt me. Here's why Dancer is objectively better than Bard. 1. Dance partner. Instead of relying on a good team, you can simply rely on one good player to make your numbers be decent enough, which is unfortunately a far more common occurrence. Take your privileged bard music playing ass somewhere else, you stinky pieces of improvisation and curing waltz. Imagine relying on your healers to press a heal button to keep you alive. This isn't the world we live in, and not a world I believe in. Curing waltz has literally saved thousands of lives, fed the poor, and saved the trees. I can't stress enough how powerful having it around can be. And honestly, I put this here so I could tell you about the travesty we lost in improvisation. You know, it was cool to have a button that was actually useful. I miss this button. Hell, I would have been happy for it to become a button that gives plus 50 Esperit instantly, or even a Reaper-like button that takes time to charge in combat, but instant out of combat or something would have been cool. But no, the only times you're allowed to use it without absolutely gutting your damage is when you already have mitigation prepared for those moments, and it's essentially useless. It's a level 80 ability, by the way. You know, the slot that's typically designated for a good button that deals damage or extends damage in a meaningful way. Dancer doesn't get to experience this damage buff. For what reason exactly? Because clearly, Dancer would have become too powerful, and Yoshi P had to stop the master class in some way and make bards feel better by giving them tech step. Rant aside, I'm literally just vibing, bro. Bard players sweating when their dots come off cooldown and how many weaves they can squeeze in, and I simply worry about not overcapping feathers and Esperit, all while keeping the majority of my attention on the fight instead of my rotation staring at Bloodletter or listening carefully for the pitch perfect sound cue to try to maximize my RNG procs. Could not be me, except when it is. The aesthetic. Literally every dancer has used the Polaro. Stop acting like you're better than everyone else and simply enjoy it for what it is. Cute. Of course, if you were the mediocre type, you can always simply ignore the bigger picture, press funny buttons that light up and say, yeah, I did it, clap your baby hands together and call it a day. But this can also be said for pretty much any job in the game, and if yours doesn't have a combo, you're probably playing healer, and I can't imagine stressing about anything while playing healer. Alright, you nerds want a rotation? Well, Dancer has the best one. It's great. Simply make sure you're not starving before you pull. Start your standard step 15 seconds before and at 2.5 seconds.
This is when you can snort some coke,
All
damage
the
pot,
cool kids are doing
damage
try
drugs,
everything at least
inconspicuous
once, especially
concoction,
meth. It's
amphetamines,
just a potion.
steroids.
You're
all
gonna
the
be
cool
so
kids are
cool
doing
when you
it.
try it.
Loser. Simply click the button.
You continue to wait until 0 seconds, and then you finish your standard step and go straight into technical step. Finish that and weave Devilment into Starfall, Flourish, weave Fan Dance First Edition, Talana, Bird Dance 4. It's at this point you realize your Esprit is building rather fast when your partner can press buttons, so you should try to get your Saber dances in while you can and prevent them from capping. So if it's getting close to cap before you can use your standard step, go ahead and use Saber dance. Otherwise, try to dump some of your other abilities while you can. Your entire goal at this point is to dump all of your Esprit and feathers as soon as you get them when you can. To make this easy, remember you can weave 2 abilities per GCD, and if you have a short GCD like Talana, Technical Finish, and Standard Finish, you can only weave 1. And that's it. From this point, you're just vibing, hoarding your feathers and Esprit as much as possible until you can do that again. Press Flourish on cooldown, and you're permitted to drift like 1 GCD or so if you have a Fountain Fall proc or something, but try not to. So honestly, if this hasn't convinced you that Dancer is objectively the best class, I don't know what to tell you other than you're wrong. But I'll support you and your endeavors regardless. And also, good luck on that parse, by the way. I'm sure all the sweating you're doing is worth it, and it's not just some copium to try to prove that you're valued as a human being.